Hello, hello, hello. This is Raymond Aaron, New York Times top 10 best-selling author, and I'm here cloistered in my bedroom, for gosh sakes. But even from my bedroom, I have some spectacular news for you. I have, as one of the greatest assets of my life, I am friends with half of all the world famous celebrities that you've ever heard of, and I am bringing them together. These have never been together before. They're never going to be together again. And I'm doing it this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me introduce my dear friend who is going to be on the show. Here he is. There he is, Francis.
Hello, Raymond.
I can hear you perfectly. It's
Wonderful.
perfect. This is amazing. What amazing technology.
I love it. Good to see you, my friend.
Yes. So I am cloistered somewhere in Toronto. You're cloistered somewhere in Florida.
Yes.
And we are broadcasting to people all over the world. This is a miracle. Now, maybe you're used to it, but it's still spectacular.
It's always fun. It's always fun to see.
10 years ago, couldn't even been dreamt of. So we're hosting an event. Oh, you have it live on your screen behind you.
There we go. Yes.
Wow.
Greatness.
Well, the mastery of greatness, the mastery of greatness. There it is. Mastery of greatness. And why don't you introduce what it is, Francis?
Well, the Mastery of Greatness is a really interesting event. Originally, it was a live conference we had planned. And with everything happening in the world, now it's virtual. What's so amazing about it being virtual is that we can share it with the entire world, not just people coming to Toronto. But I'm very excited about this event because, well, one, my good friend Raymond Aaron is hosting it, and that is always a plus. But the speakers are incredible, and especially now. I believe I asked Siri this question this morning. We are 101 days away, 101 days away from the end of the year.
Wow.
And that's an interesting thing to think about what's happening in 2020 right now. But I believe there's still time to make 2020 an incredible year, no matter what's happened from this point past. What's going forward, we have complete control of. And part of that, and I'm always astonished by, my life has always been impacted by learning from great mentors like yourself, working with amazing people, building strong relationships, and self-education. And the Mastery of Greatness is an event about becoming great, learning from the greatest, and mastering that in yourself. And if I get out of the way here and look at the panel that we have, Brian Tracy is one of the first influences I've ever had in my life as a personal development. I think I have. Look at this, Raymond. Check this out. This is one of the first sets. Whoops, I'm making a mess of my office. This is one of the first sets of personal development I ever encountered.
And he's going to be with us live.
Yes. It's amazing. And we have Laurel Langmeyer, who I always learn from, Olympic gold medalist Mark McCoy, Dr. John Gray, and Paul O'Mahony, the amazing internet marketing, and I'll be there. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. So here, we used to fly to places and pay for parking and rent hotel bedrooms and rent massive hotel ballrooms and have wonderful staff at the back taking care of everybody. And now all that's gone. Airplanes are gone. Airports are gone. But what has come in its place is the ability to attend events without travel. It actually got better. And, I'm going to tell you something, Francis. You may not have thought about this before. When I first went virtual like in March, I thought, you know what? Are people really going to learn? Is it really going to be okay? People aren't going to actually be able to speak to their neighbor. They're going to feel so distant. They'll feel so distant from the speakers. Is it going to work? The feedback forms are better, Francis. They're better. I couldn't even believe it. Why? Because people felt bad that they had to fly a long way, or people felt bad that they couldn't even go because they had to fly a long way. And now they come so grateful because they can be there without flying. They're so grateful. And not only that, even people who live in the same city are grateful because they can take care of their kids or they don't have to eat hotel food. They're so grateful. But what's even more amazing is that When I'm on stage, then I kind of look at everybody. I take in the whole room. But in a Zoom class, like in the Master of Greatness this weekend, I'm actually looking straight into the eyes of every person. Straight, the connection is actually better. It's the most astounding thing. And also in a Zoom class, you don't have to look around for people's name tags, and maybe the name tag is flipped around backwards and you can't see it, or maybe they got their coat on and you can't see their name tag. Their name is right on the bottom left of the thumb. You can see everyone's name. You can look straight into their eyes. I ask for feedback forms at the end of every single day of every single class I've ever taught. The feedback forms are better. You'll feel more connected with the incredible Brian Tracy. You'll feel more connected with the incredible Dr. John Gray. You'll feel more connected with the incredible superstar of the movie The Secret, Laurel Langmeyer, who's called the Millionaire Maker. And Dr. John Gray wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and he was also in the movie The Secret. And you're going to be on it, Francis, an amazing internet marketer. People will feel connected with you. And Paul O'Mahony, the greatest internet marketer in all of Europe, is going to be there. And my dear friend, who's a world record holder, I don't know if you know this, so let me tell it to everybody. Mark McCoy wanted to be a sprinter when he was in high school. So he went up to his coach and said, I want to be a sprinter. And the coach said, everybody does. Everybody wants to be a sprinter. I got more sprinters than I can handle. And Mark said, but I'm fast. Good, be a hurdler. Nobody wants to be a hurdler. It's too difficult. And so he worked at it and knocked over a lot of hurdles and hurt himself, and then learned how to hurdle. And he actually qualified for the Olympics. My friend Mark McCoy qualified for the Olympics. And then the bad news was that was the Russian Olympics that were boycotted. So he waited 4 more years and he got to go to the Los Angeles Olympics. But just before the starting gun went off, you won't believe this, just before the starting gun went off, he saw Pamela Anderson jumping up and down in the stands, and he started imagining things that he shouldn't have imagined, and he came dead last, even though he was rated 3rd in the world. And then the 3rd Olympics, he qualified. This is impossible. When you're a sprinter, you can't qualify for 3 Olympics in a row because you're a grandfather by that time. You're just too old. And he qualified, and just before the Olympics, he got a severe cold and he couldn't run.
Oh, wow.
So his coach said, okay, it's only 4 years till the next one. And so he qualified for 4 Olympics in a row in the sprints, which is unheard of. And he got Achilles tendonitis and he couldn't run. Okay, he waited 4 more years and qualified for his 5th Olympics. 5 in a row. No one has ever done that in the history of the Olympics. And at that Olympics, he actually did something that has never happened before. Instead of having the best coach in North America, he got the best coach in the world. The guy who has coached more hurdlers to more medals than anyone in the world. And the first seconds that he was coached by this guy, he said to Mark, put up a flight of hurdles and go over it. And the coach said, do you know that when you land, your left foot is slightly askew? Mark said, so what? Well, that means your toe is actually 1 inch further back than it could be. Mark said, that's all you got from me, 1 inch? And he said, yeah, but you take 39 strides in a 110-meter high hurdle sprint. And then Mark said, so what's 1 inch times 39 strides? And his coach said, Olympic gold. And Francis, he qualified for his 5th Olympics as a grandfather, and he beat everybody, and he won. But you won't believe this. He won by 39 inches. He won by 30. It's unbelievable. It's a miracle. And when he tells that story, you will cry. Even though I've heard it before many times, I still am blown away. I still want to hear it again. But he's not going to teach you how to be a high hurdler. That's not what you want. He's going to teach you how to be star? What is the discipline that you need? What is the mental focus that you need to succeed in your business, your relationships, whatever you do? So you may not have ever heard of him, but man, he knows. He won Olympic gold in his 5th Olympics as a grandfather.
Amazing.
And he set 2 world records. One of them has not been beaten for 40 years. There is not a single track record that has stood for 40 years in any category, not a single track record except Mark. What has he got? How does he think? What does he do? And you're going to learn that. You're going to learn from Brian Tracy, who was Francis's first idol, who first person he followed. And you're going to learn from Dr. John Gray about relationships, because man, as a result of this lockdown, there's either going to be more babies born or more divorces. People are going to either rush to the maternity ward or divorce court, because either people are going to get more in love with their spouse or they're going to wring each other's neck. And I brought Dr. John Gray because that's what we need in this time. Laurel Langmeyer's the millionaire maker. Francis ABLOLA and Paul O'Mahony are going to teach you how to add internet, add virtual, add online to your business in ways you've never thought of before. This is critical. These people have never been together before. They're never, ever going to be together again. And not only is Francis going to be the speaker, but he is the guru, webmaster, marketing, internet genius behind the entire program. So not only is he going to be teaching you how to do it, he is actually doing it. He's actually going to be manning the show as he's teaching. Ah! So Francis,
and it's something I don't do for anybody else other than you, not even my own company. We have people in my own company that does this, that does this stuff for us. But I do this for you, Raymond. So Nat, because we're bringing such amazing value to the world here, that I think it's important. It's the perfect time for it. And what I think right now is, again, 101 days before the end of the year. Wow. It's about identifying opportunity. It's about identifying who you can learn from to strengthen yourself and move into 2021 to create an amazing new year. And some things I've learned from you, especially with the monthly mentor program that you teach, and setting yourself up for these amazing wins to constantly attain these goals. And we have a great time frame for it. So I'm excited about that.
It's a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect time for it. You're absolutely right.
And that's really what I'll be sharing about. I'll be talking about online marketing, and so will Paul, but I'll be talking about how to identify those areas of opportunity and how to grow right now more than any other time. And one of the great accomplishments we've done, my company's done over the last couple of years, is we've hit the Inc. 500 lists 2 times in a row now.
Wow!
Growing company in the United States. And fast growing private company in the United States. I actually have the magazine of the latest edition right here. We got this in the mail a few days ago. So
wow.
I'm really excited about this. But number 80 fastest growing company in the entire United States.
No way.
5,000 companies. And according to this, and they did all of our background check, we did over 4,500% growth in our company.
Multiple of 45 from last year?
4,500% growth from the year prior. The year prior before that was 2,500%. So 2 years in a row, we've hit the Inc. 500 list. This year we hit the Inc. 100. And that was from the results of the year prior. It wasn't the results from this year. This year we hit a massive hurdle, just like many others in the world, right? In March, we hit about 60 to 80% a downturn. Lost in our company, lost in our revenue. But within March, April, May, June, July, we were able to turn that around to where we took a brand new product, brand new idea, no list, no traffic, and turned that into over $1 million in sales in just 4 months.
Are you going to teach us how to do that?
We'll be talking about that. Because it's so easy to get comfortable in good times. But what had to happen was we found opportunity that existed, that the marketplace needed, that the marketplace was looking for, and we dug in. We changed everything about our mindset, about how we positioned our business, about where we're doing our own mental blocks, because it's easy to get, it's not easy to get, but it's easy to get growth in times of prosperity. It's easy to be comfortable in those times and let growth ride. What's difficult is getting punched in the face over and over again and getting back up and then still having that growth. So I'm excited about sharing what that looks like and what we've done even in the last 6 months during this lockdown. And the things that we've done together. We've done 2 major summits online, the World Prosper Summit 1 and 2. We're doing this Mastery of Greatness Summit. And we have people from all around the world registering for this right now and shifting from, I know you just did one of your events this past weekend virtually, and shifting from this live model to virtual, being able to connect with people all over the world. And that's a major opportunity. So we'll talk about where the opportunities sit.
Now, I want my viewers to understand something. This is real. 4,500% growth as stated by, what is it, Inc. 500?
Inc. Magazine.
Inc. Magazine.
They go through like a fine-tooth comb over all of your financials to make sure you are accurate in this. So they put us through the ringer. I'm trying to find the page here. They put us through the ringer to get that found. Wow.
And I want you to know how shocking that is.
Right? Actually, Raymond, I'm incorrect. It was 4,200% growth. So you can see it right there. Real Advisors.
Yeah.
200% growth.
Wow.
So page 92 of the magazine that's on news.
Show the cover again. Page 92. Here's the magazine. Inc. 500. Wow. Wow. Now, let me tell you how startling that is. Let's take a company that is not only better known than Francis's company, not only world known, but the #1 most loved company in the entire world. No, it's not Starbucks. The most loved company in the entire world is Disney. People love Disney. There are people who, when they were kids, went to Disney's amusement parks and watched Disney movies, who then got married, had kids, and watched it again with their kids. And then the kids grew up and got married, and the grandmothers now are watching it with the grandkids, seeing the same movies over and over. The most loved company in the world just announced last month that its revenue is down year over year by 91%. Wow. Down 91%. That is so crippling. Let's take a really nice annual income of, let's say, $100,000 a year. If you earn $100,000 a year, that's darn good. That's darn good. The average U.S. income is $40,000. And the average Canadian income is $49,000, but that's in Canadian dollars, so it's roughly the same. So $100,000, that's damn good. You earn that. I don't say you're arrived and you're wealthy, but you're earning well. Going from $100,000 to $9,000.
Yeah.
If you triple that, you're still under the poverty line. 100,000 to 9,000. That's what a 91% drop is. And the most loved company in the world has suffered that. Let's take another company, Starbucks. They've just announced they're not reopening 25% of their stores. Let's take another super well-known company, Victoria's Secret. They said that they are not reopening 25% of their stores. This is huge. Hertz Rent-A-Car went bankrupt, one of the most well-known companies in the entire world. So just because you're famous, just because you have a good product, if you can't pivot, if you can't learn, if you can't adjust, you're going under. As Francis said, in good times, you can afford to make mistakes and it's okay. It's like canoeing downstream. If you're canoeing downstream and you make a mistake, your canoe will still keep going forward. But if you're going upstream against rapids and you make a mistake, man, you're
make a mistake in the rapids. That's right.
So this is an essential opportunity. The world, I don't want to say the world's against you, because the world doesn't care about you. Not to be rude, the world doesn't care about you. It just changed massively. And that massive change is going to punch people and it's going to uplift other people. And you know that feisty boxer, Mike Tyson? About 20 years ago, he said something that I've loved ever since, but now it's actually even more appropriate. He said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Absolutely.
And that's a hilarious quote. This is the first time the whole world has been punched in the face. For example, the horror of the Second World War, 6 million Jews killed, never mind tens of millions of soldiers on both sides killed. Horror, it's a horror. But it was only a horror in Europe and a little bit of Asia. That's it. Geographically, that's it. The First World War was even smaller. The Great Plague, the Black Plague of the 1300s, was only Europe. The whole world has never been punched in the face. This is the first time. So let's say you're in a boat and a giant wave comes along, which is like the lockdown. You either are under the wave and get crushed and drowned by it, or you figure out how to get on the crest of the wave and start flying faster than you've ever flown before. Because my feedback in my events is higher than it's ever been. I'm doing better. And not only are my sales good, my income is good, that hasn't changed. My expenses have dropped to zero. I don't have to pay for airfare. I don't have to pay for airport parking. I don't have to pay for hotel bedrooms. I don't have to pay for expensive hotel food. I don't have to pay for expensive hotel ballrooms. And so my costs have dropped almost zero. My revenue hasn't changed. My profitability is up. Other companies like Hertz and Starbucks and Disney are drooling. If only they could be like Raymond. And so you could be crushed by this giant wave, or you could be on the crest of the wave and move faster than you've ever moved before. And it's not just up to you. If it was just up to you, it's okay. You'd snap your finger and you'd be on the crest of the wave. It's up to you after you get the education as to how to do it.
Yes. What's interesting about the companies that you just mentioned, you know, the Victoria's Secrets and JCPenney's is going out of business, and the Starbucks, is it creates an opportunity where these massive companies have always dominated the field, but now anyone can enter a marketplace. E-commerce is so easy to set up if you have the right education, if you have the right knowledge. You can go on and sell things on Amazon, sell things in your Shopify store. You can create a small local business that serves these markets that are being left open now. You can create experiences that connect with people, because now we have the ability to go out and create these new markets. Turo, you know, Hertz is going out of business. Turo's still there, where you can rent your own car if you want. It's another opportunity that's being created. So you look at these empires that grew, and some of them grew in the last depression, in these last economic times. It's just another opportunity. It's so time to find your place in the world.
My friend Jack Canfield, who co-created the entire Chicken Soup for the Soul series of books, starred the movie The Secret, and author of the Success Principles, he told me an amazing story, and you'll really love this. It's a different way to kind of take your business online or change your business, and you need to learn this creativity. He had the largest gym in Los Angeles. You can imagine, a couple $100,000 a month of rent. 1,000 pieces of high-tech equipment that ordinary people can't buy. Only gyms and physiotherapists and hospitals can buy this high-tech equipment. And he was getting $20 a month from thousands and thousands of people. But then the lockdown came and everybody stopped paying the $20, and he was facing bankruptcy. And so he pivoted. What could he do? Nobody's in the gym. People who don't care about their credit card just kept paying the $20. Most people canceled, even though they had a contract. So what did he do? He phoned one of his clients and he said, "Hi, Bill, I know that you like the Stairmaster, and I've disinfected it. I put it on a truck, and it's going to your home right now. If you say yes, I'll deliver it and charge you only $99 a month. You can use it all day if you wish at home. And if you say no, I'll send it to somebody who wants it." No, send it. And so he called all his clients. He's now got 1,000 clients in the Los Angeles area, paying him $99 a month, and he has no expenses because he owned the equipment. As soon as his gym lease comes up for renewal, he's going to say goodbye because the gym's empty because all the equipment is in people's living rooms. So the problem he had is he used to be at the gym 15 hours a day because you have to take care of your business. He didn't know how that would ever end. Now he doesn't go to the gym because nobody's there, and he's making $99 times 1,000 is $99,000, $100,000 a month with no expenses, no rent. He lies at home in his bed running his business from his cell phone, and the only people who call him are people who say, I'm bored of the Stairmaster, send me the elliptical. And so he switches it, and they still stay a customer. And that's his retirement. He's making more money in his retirement with no overhead and no 15 hours at the gym. It's the greatest blessing that ever happened to him. And yet, there are 3 gyms in the small village that I live in, 3 fitness facilities that have all gone bankrupt. Mm-hmm. They never thought of that. Yeah. If they'd thought of it, they could do it. Anyone can do it if you think of it. Francis is going to teach you the secrets of going online. And you don't have to be an expert to go online. You don't have to know like all this intricate stuff about internet marketing, because there's easy ways to go online. So when this person that I talked about, he just put up a quick website so that anyone in Los Angeles could just click on whatever equipment they want. He delivers it to them. They start paying $99. He has one little website, one little non-glamorous website, instead of a $200,000 rent in a vast gym. So he went online just a little bit. And all of a sudden he's making more money than he's ever made. Doesn't have to work 15 hours a day. Wow, wow, wow. And you're going to learn from Francis directly. Also from Paul O'Mahony, who's the #1 internet marketer in all of Europe. You got to do it. You have to do it. You must do it these days.
The barrier of entry for getting and starting your own business now is dropped. You know, it doesn't take thousands and thousands of dollars to create a website, to go out there. You can run traffic to your website of people all around the world for as little as $5 a day. Wow. And you can test things. You can have people working for you for $3 an hour. There's no more barrier of entry anymore, which is so amazing to me. You know, when I started online in 1997, I started my first website back then, and I had to know how to program. I had to know how to code, and I've forgotten all of that stuff. I don't do it myself anymore. I've forgotten all of that. You don't need it anymore. You point and drag and click, and now you have a business. Sites like Shopify and BigCommerce have made it easy. Amazon's made it easy for anybody to start and leverage their systems. So it's an exciting time. And while, you know, the chaos that's going on in the world today, there's still ways to make this 101 days left of this year to do something new, to do something exciting, or take your business into a new world. And just a little bit of thought. It's taking a pad and paper and thinking, how can I do this different? How can I explore that?
I don't want you to make it too little, Francis. Mm-hmm. Yes, they have to have the courage, but they have to learn from an expert how to do it. Yes. Otherwise, they can't, no matter how much they want to, they don't know what to do. So I'm going to give another little example in your arena.
Yes.
And that is, I have a coaching client who's a chiropractor. And he called me, said, I'm going to go under. I've just opened up a second clinic and I've got a huge debt. And now I have no patients. I don't know what to do. And I said, will you stop being so negative? He says, you don't understand. I am regulated by a self-governing body of chiropractics, and we are not allowed to charge unless a body is lying on our table right in front of us and we're fixing the subluxations of their spine. I said, oh, stop it. No, you don't understand. We have a self-governing body. And I said, okay, so go bankrupt or listen to me. It's okay, I'll listen to you. I said, what do people do wrong that causes them to have so many aches and pains? He said, oh, it's simple. They lift badly and they bend badly. I said, good. Do you have a tripod? Sure. Do you have an iPhone? Sure. Make a video. Stand in front of a blank wall and make a video showing people how to bend. Make another video showing people how to lift. He said, I can do that. Good. How much do you charge for an adjustment? $40. How long does it take? Almost an hour. So how much money do you make in a day? Oh, $500 a day. Okay, pretty good. I said, make those 2 videos, put it on a website. Dr. So-and-so teaches you how to lift. Dr. So-and-so teaches you how to bend. Charge $30 for each one, or both of them for $49. And then email, since you have the email address of all of your patients, email all of them saying, go to this link. In times of terror like this, and times when people are sick and worried and fearful and losing their business and money, you need to know how to take care of your physical body. And he had more sales. He made more money in each day than he ever made adjusting their spine. Because if you make $50 per sale, you only have to make 10 sales in order to equal what he did by adjusting their spines all day long. And he's making way more than 10 sales. He's making way more money. And of course, he still has to pay rent at his office. But if he didn't have an office, he wouldn't even be paying any rent. He wouldn't have to have a secretary or a cashier or an assistant. Nothing. He says, oh my God, this is a life changer. I may never adjust a spine again. But he had to learn from me that other method of income was available.
Yes.
Because he was fighting me. You don't understand. Chiropractors are not allowed to blah, 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 blah. And so as soon as he got that he could go virtual, because, his thinking was, how can I be a virtual chiropractor? How can I adjust people's spines virtually? It doesn't make sense. But when he gets advice from me, or particularly from you, then he can have the idea that you give him and suddenly start making more money than he's ever made before, lying on a beach somewhere instead of adjusting people's backs all day. You need to learn how to do it, then you can do it.
And Raymond, that's where breakthroughs come from. You collect the ideas from your mentors, the education you have, the personal development you invest in. You get those ideas and you get those concepts, and they come together in your brain and they sit there. And then when you have the application for it, that's where the breakthroughs come from. And that's where you gather and implement. So absolutely. I totally believe in attending events. I have since I was a teenager, attending self-development events. And actually there's some great teenagers in the Raymond Aaron community as well that I see coming up and sharing information and knowledge. I see them all the time in the Facebook group, actually. Yeah. And I'm so amazed by that, because they're sharing knowledge, they're gathering knowledge, and they're going to change the world. I know that. And that's all it takes. It's the education, it's the knowledge, it's the mentors, and it's the idea that sparks. It's something that sparks the fire. And then you take that one idea, that one spark, and it goes from there.
Well, adding to what you just said, I want to reveal the big secret. I know there's going to be gigantic big names on stage, but you don't even have to wait till September 25, 26, 27, because the instant that you register, you're going to get a gift. You're going to get a gift that Les Brown, my dear friend Les Brown, the greatest speaker in the world, has made for me to give to you. Also, another one of my dear friends, Robert Kiyosaki, the greatest wealth teacher of all time, the author of Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he has made a gift of education for me, which he sent me, and you can have a copy of that. Jack Canfield, one of the most loved people in the entire world, has made a special presentation just for this event, and you will get that the instant that you register. And Bob Proctor, the grandfather of the entire personal growth industry, and by the way, a neighbor of mine. He's exactly a decade older than me. I'm 76, he's 86. And he looks younger than me. He's just, I've never seen him slouch. He has the most perfect posture. His clothes are always perfect. His hair is absolutely perfect. I'm not. I haven't even shaved for this, for gosh sakes. And so here it is. You get a gift from Les Brown, a gift from Robert Kiyosaki, a gift from Jack Canfield, and a gift from Bob Proctor instantly, the instant that you register. A gift from Les Brown, that alone is enough. No, a gift from Robert Kiyosaki is enough. No, Jack Canfield, a gift from Jack Canfield, that's enough. Bob Proctor, just Bob Proctor alone. But you get Les and Robert and Jack and Bob, you get gifts from all four of them, specially designed for you for right now, the instant that you register. And how do you register? You register at masteryofgreatness.com. It's 3 solid days, September 25, 26, 27. There'll be people from all over the world, all over the world. It's going to be so exciting. And the speakers, oh my gosh, Brian Tracy, his psychology of success is second to none. Dr. John Gray, his knowledge of the mastery of men-women relationships, second to none. Laurel Langmeyer, she's the millionaire maker. She knows how to make you rich, especially now. Do you know something? Maybe you're too young to know this. Francis, I'm showing how elderly and stately I am. Statesmanship like. The worst economic time we've ever had is the Great Depression, 1929 to 1939. If you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average of the 30 major stocks on the New York Stock Exchange, 14 of them started during the Great Depression. 14, that was like 70 years ago. 14 of them started during the Great Depression, almost 100 years ago. And not only are they still here today, they're in the top 30 of the universe.
Yes.
So when you say times are bad, you better rethink that word bad, because when things change, that's when opportunities show up. See, when everything's normal, let's say everything's normal and you just graduate as a dentist. How are you going to get new patients? Everybody's already got a dentist. If you're a plumber and you just graduate with your plumber ticket, how are you going to get plumber clients? Everyone's already got a plumber. But when the world changes, when the world's ripped apart, when everything is upside down, that's when all of a sudden people need new guidance. They need new services. They need new help. They need help in areas they never thought of before. This is the greatest opportunity in your life. And Brian Tracy, Dr. John Gray from The Secret, Laurel Langmeyer from The Secret, the two most significant internet marketers in the world, Francis ABLOLA from North America and Paul O'Mahony from Europe, are going to teach you their methods of genius of taking things online. And why do I have two in internet marketing? It's real simple, because that's the most important thing you need to do now. You can't touch people. You can't get near people. You can't hug people. They can't come to a hotel room. Do you know the premier of the province of Ontario, where I live, just announced 2 days ago that it is illegal to be in a group of more than 10 people.
Wow.
It's illegal. And the penalty, even in your own home. There's 1 million Jews that live in Ontario, and this is the Jewish New Year's. Everyone's family was getting together, and hours before the Jewish New Year, Premier Ford announced it's illegal. And so the Jews are saying, well, it's illegal, but it's in our own home. Like, who knows what goes on in your own home? Here's the deal. It's a $10,000 penalty for the host and a $750 penalty for each person, because they can't, if you can't count to 10, you get a $750 penalty. And so for $10,000, all of a sudden, even though it's your own privacy, your own home, it's not a public space, it's your own home, you don't dare do it. You just don't dare do it. And so the world is changing every day. We don't know what's going to be happening. President Trump just said something that turned everything upside down just 3 days ago. He said, I think I'll run for a third term. What? He hasn't won his second term, and it's illegal to run for more than 2 terms. Is he crazy? Now, this isn't a political talk. Don't get hooked into the politics. It's just that when, because everyone's at home and it's got nothing to do, when Trump says something, it gets even more coverage and gets people even more intrigued, because if they're at the office, they can get on with important things. But if they're stuck at home, anything he says, they're going to talk about. And so the goofiest things he says have big turmoil. And so this is a time of humor. The coronavirus humor is the best humor in the universe. Oh my God, I've got such funny cartoons that have been sent to me. And like, here's one. Woman, do you think I've gained weight during the lockdown? Husband, well, you were never very thin. Cause of death, coronavirus. The humor is hilarious. Trump's gone nuts. Everybody's worried and wondering and what's going to go on. Is Trump going to find a new replacement for Ruth Ginsburg, or he's going to allow the next president, or will he be the next president? There's so much turmoil. There's so much facts. There's so much news. There's so much gigantic news. How do you keep focused? How do you keep focused? And even if you're focused, if you don't know what to do, what's the point of focusing? What are you going to focus on?
There's a lot of noise in the world today. And
oh my God.
One thing I did learn from Brian Tracy very early on in my life. He has the saying, be the CEO of your own life. Be the CEO of your own life. And Jack Canfield talks about taking full responsibility of everything you do. And that's when my business took a shift this year and it felt like the world was crashing down on us, the only thing we could do was had to ignore everything else going on and focus on what we were doing. And it's hard, difficult to do. But it's in those times of difficulty that you make the right decision and you push forward.
And my dear viewer, masteryofgreatness.com, grab it, because there is a limit to the number, technologically, there's a limit to the number of people we can allow on the platform. So get into it. And if you go to Mastery of Greatness and there's a form to complete, like with tough questions like name and email address, then you're in. But if you go there and it's a red screen that says too late, then we can't allow anyone else in. So go to masteryofgreatness.com, www.masteryofgreatness.com, fill out the very simple form. It takes several seconds, and register, because you will immediately get a gift that Les Brown has made for you. You will get a gift that Robert Kiyosaki has made for you. You'll get a gift that Jack Canfield has made for you. And you'll get a gift that Bob Proctor, 4 of the most famous people in the world, because I know them and love them and they know me and love me, they've made a gift especially for you and send it to me. And the instant you register, well, I should confirm that. Is that true?
I believe those are for gifts when they attend, Raymond. So
when they show up, they get
up for the events.
Oh, I see.
I will find a gift in our archives, because you have so many great things that we can give immediately when they attend, when they register.
You see, the show just morphed and got better this second.
Well, I will go into the library, and I know you have several friends that have given you so many great things. I'm going to find something myself personally, add it on there for when they register, they'll get a gift. But those other gifts are for when they attend. They have to attend.
When you show up. Good. I'm glad you corrected me on that. So you'll get it instantly that you show up.
Yes.
Okay, good. And to get Brian Tracy, Psychology of Success, to get Dr. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and the Superstar of The Secret, to get Laurel Langmeyer, the Millionaire Maker, Star of The Secret, to get Francis ABLOLA from North America and Paul O'Mahony from Europe, 2 of the top internet marketer geniuses in the world who actually speak English. They don't speak marketingese with all these letters that nobody understands. They really speak English, which is a joy. And my dear friend, Mark McCoy, Olympic gold medalist, double world record holder. He's going to be talking about how to train your mind for success. It's going to be an amazing, and me. And I'm going to be talking about how to brand yourself, because branding has always been important, but in times of crisis, branding's even more important. See, I don't know, let's say Brian Tracy comes to your city and you say, oh, that's nice, I think I'll go. Why? Because you know him, you know his name. He's very famous. But maybe you won't go. Maybe you'll watch a movie. Who knows? But in times of crisis, when if Brian Tracy came to your town, then it's important. Lessons are important now. They used to be delight. They used to be icing on the cake. They used to be entertainment. They used to be fun and education. But now they're mandatory. You'd better learn. Just like the example I gave of the gym, suddenly he's making more money and he isn't working 15 hours a day. The chiropractor, suddenly he hasn't done a single adjustment. And even though chiropractors are only allowed to earn money when they adjust, suddenly he's earning money and not breaking any rules without working. And so you can be creative, but only once you get the idea. Because I could have put that chiropractor in a room and said, be creative, and I'm not going to let you out till you're creative. And he would have sat there for years because he didn't have the idea. You need to learn from Francis. You need to learn from Paul O'Mahony on how you can take your business online, how you can do it safely, how you can do it correctly, how you can do it for the least investment possible, how you can get organic traffic so you don't even have to pay for it. Or if you wish to pay for traffic, how you can do it so that it really works. So you invest $5 a day and get $20 a day back. And then once that works, then you invest $8 a day and get $40 back. They'll teach you how to do it safely and carefully. Wow. Wow, there it is. 3 days this coming weekend, September 25, 26, 27, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 full days of joy of the best speakers they've never been together before, Francis. Never. They've never been together before. And they'll never be together again. This is it. It's because of I know them all that they've agreed to speak for me. But really, these days, they're either hibernating or they're not speaking or they're taking a much needed vacation. There are people like Bob Proctor who haven't taken a vacation in 50 years because he's in such high demand. And so because I know them all, I can bring them to you. I can bring them to you. And I'm doing that for you. masteryofgreatness.com. It's a wonderful event. And, you know, the very first time I offered it was about 10 years ago. And I've been offering it every year since. The first time I offered it, I don't know if you remember this, but we had as our guest speaker, the Prime Minister of Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada at my very first big event. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And since then, I've had giant speakers. We've had Steve Wozniak, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like giant people. But now we put the most powerful of them together because in the past, I wanted them to be able to teach you, but I also wanted them to entertain you.
Yes.
But now it's the education that is critically important. You can't fool around. You got to be, enjoy your life, but you got to really focus in order to do the right thing. Because a giant corporation like Disney might go under. Nobody wants Disney to go under. If you ask 10,000 kids for a cartoon character, every one of them will say Mickey Mouse. He's the most loved cartoon character on the planet. Nobody wants Disney to go under. And yet, I don't know how they can survive at a 91% drop. Why? Because they make movies, there's no movie theaters, and they have amusement parks, and there's no amusement parks. And so they've got to pivot. They've got to figure out some way to do it.
We're in a season of renewal right now. Renewal. I think it was Dr. Ivan Meisner during the World Prosper Summit. He said it was the Great Reset.
Yeah,
it is. We're in a time of growth. We're in a time of renewal. We're in the middle. We're not at the end either.
No,
we're not at the end. You know, we're looking at in the States here in Florida and the homes that could be under foreclosure or default right now. The rents that are back. You know, they're just sitting there right now. Yeah. Right now, in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of everything, our housing market is the highest it's ever been. It's amazing. I got an offer on my house. I just sold a property same day. And we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. And there's seasons, and there's times, and there's opportunities, and then there's shifts. We're going to see lots of shifts.
Yep.
Also the time to prepare.
Yeah, and actually, let me talk about it because I think a lot of people are interested in the future of real estate. So I'm glad you brought it up. Residential real estate is in higher demand. And the reason is your home used to be important, of course. Everyone has to have a home. But now it's more important because people are stuck in their home and they want to enjoy their home. If they don't have, let's say they are kind of cramped into 3 bedrooms and they really need 4. Well, heck, the kids are at school and the husband and wife are at work. So fine, make do. But no, residential real estate is in higher demand now because people are at home more. So they need it to actually work for them. And so residential real estate has gone up in value. Who could have imagined that? However, no one's going to stores any longer. And so everybody's buying from Amazon. And so commercial real estate, retail real estate is plummeting in value. Let's take a mall. If the anchor like JCPenney goes bankrupt, then there's nobody coming to the mall. And even the people who come to the mall aren't going to buy that much. And so the stores can't pay rent. And so the mall owner is going to go bankrupt. And the mall real estate, retail real estate is going downhill very fast. Not just that. I've been running my business now for 6 months without an office. Mm-hmm. It started March 15th. We've just passed September 15th. That's 6 months without an office. And we're doing better than we've ever done, even paying for the office that we don't go to. When our lease comes up, are we going to be renewing? I don't think so.
It's I'm sitting here in about 4,000 or 5,000 square feet in my office here. I am the only one in this office. I can go into. We have a conference room, 5 offices here. It's completely empty, and it has been for months. Yeah, our lease comes up in January, and I don't need 5,000 square feet for myself. It's going to be a change.
Commercial real estate is going to fall in value because many people are going to make that decision. Like every single lawyer is going to say, yes, I'll meet clients by Zoom and I'll work from home, because most of them have really expensive, glorious offices in really tall, high-rise, glorious, expensive office buildings right downtown of major cities. They're paying a fortune and they don't need it. With Zoom, you can meet somebody with no cost, no travel, no parking. And so commercial real estate's plummeting, retail real estate's plummeting, and weirdly, residential real estate is skyrocketing. Who knew? Like there was a virus, but suddenly the ripple effect means that residential real estate's going up and retail and commercial real estate's going down. What's a virus got to do with that?
It was the catalyst for so many things. And you think about real estate, you think about business, you think about so many different areas that are shifting right now. And it's important to identify the opportunity now and take the opportunity that's happening, but prepare yourself for what's going to happen as well, because it's going to be bigger. And for anyone listening to this, for anyone on masteryofgreatness.com, during that event, we're going to talk about what's happening next. And it's really identifying, it's the mind shift. It's the shift of looking at things in a different way and not being stuck in the old ways, being comfortable. It's not be about comfortable anymore. And, it's funny, Mark McCoy is going to be there. And I was thinking the other day of what it takes for an Olympic gold medalist to prepare to become great. That's mastery of greatness. So it takes for someone to prepare to be great, and it's not being comfortable.
No.
And to adopt that mindset of not being comfortable and be willing to do a little bit more, so much more, wake up a little earlier, read the books, attend the classes, do a little bit more. And that's all it takes to become great. Just a little bit more.
And one of my favorite expressions is the competition dies down really fast at 5:01 p.m. every day. And I don't mean you should work overtime. What I mean is so many people do just what's needed. Mm-hmm. And anyone who does the little extra thinking, little extra learning, little extra trying to go virtual, they're the ones that are going to succeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So pick up your gifts from Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, Jack Canfield, and Bob Proctor at the event, which you earn just by registering at masteryofgreatness.com. And hear from the world famous Brian Tracy, hear about relationships from the world famous Dr. John Gray, hear about making money from the millionaire maker Laurel Langmeyer, who was also the star of the movie The Secret. Hear from two internet marketer geniuses, Francis ABLOLA from North America and Paul O'Mahony from Europe. I'm bringing you two because that's the most important thing right now. And then the mindset of a guy who hit gold in the sprints in his 5th consecutive Olympics. It's insane. It's just not even possible. And he got 2 world records. One of them still is standing today. There is it's never happened. I don't know if you remember Weissmuller, Johnny Weissmuller. He played Tarzan in the early Tarzan movies. Big guy. And he won every Olympics. He won all the gold in all the swimming events. He was a master swimmer. And within 6 years, schoolgirls had beaten his swim records. Like, things change all the time, and no one has come near breaking his record.
That's amazing.
He's going to teach you how he focuses for success. It's really important. It's a big event. I'm honored to put it on, and I'm honored that you're going to be in front of the camera and behind the camera.
I'm honored to do it.
And I don't know how you're going to be. Now, when I say front and behind, what I mean at the same time. So he's going to be.
It's a lot easier. I don't have to leave my desk.
Well, it's the bandwidth. So you're going to be teaching as you're controlling. If things are going wrong, you're kind of fixing it in the background as you're teaching. What a master you are. What a master.
Thank you, Raymond.
Wow. So I just want to say again, Mastery of Greatness. Let's put that one up. Let's put this one so you know when it is. September 25, 6, 7. 3 solid days. If you have to miss a little of it, okay, just don't miss all of it just because you have to miss a little bit of it. Mastery of Greatness with some of the biggest names in the entire world. And you get a gift because you registered as soon as you show up. A gift from each of my 4 most world famous friends. Wow. Huge event.
It's going to be a great weekend.
And while you were talking, I reposted this on my other Facebook platforms and on about 20 others that I am a member of. So lots and lots of people got this. I'm going to post it on YouTube. Perfect. As soon as I get off. This is going to be a huge event, and I'm glad that you helped me tell my wonderful listeners about it.
I'm honored. It'll be a great event.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.